Hello everyone, welcome back. With this video I want to start talking about Ken project and basically starting or restarting initiative of public development or open source development for this project. So if you remember, if you remember from our previous videos, we already had two projects, KN and DevHub, and they were open source. So if you go to the let me show you. So if you go to the GitHub to Coder Vlogger, you will see this DevOps project, and there is also another one with my on my GitHub profile, which is also open source and called KN. So for now, these two projects, they contain a lot of source code, so I don't want to remove them because it's maybe it's valuable for some people. But with this initiative, I want to start KN project again because I already did some development in my private repository, which I want to open source now. And that's why, so we will have under the Coder Vlogger another repository with the latest state, and from now on I will keep this repository up to date. But before we dive this kind of details, repository and organizational stuff, let me shortly give information about the KN project, what's it and what's the idea about this project. So basically KN stands for Knowledge Network. And with this project, my goal is to gather the software development related articles, open source projects, GitHub repositories, news, and etc. in one place, do some data mining and data processing, and as a result, return some valuable information. So first step will be on articles. So basically, this part is part of this article gathering or collecting software engineering related article is done. So I will show you in a second. But basically, the goal is to have some kind of resources. It can be RSS or some engineering software engineering blog or something else. So there might be different sources. I also check software development companies and their blog and gather information from this blog. And in this article links, so for now it's simple article links, but later on we can do some kind of indexing. So we can check content of this article and say, for example, this is a more Go related article or Python related article. And if we have users of this project, they can define that I am more interested in Python or Golang project articles. But in general or in high level, I also plan to gather news, jobs, kind of specialized sites. For example, for Golang, we will have specialized site or sub-site with all information, all latest information about the Golang or Python and etc. So basically, it's some kind of example project in some way, but also real project where you can see development process and etc. And so far, let me jump to the source code. So far what I have, first, what you see on the screen, it's on my private repository. I will share or open source it later, so please keep in touch for this. But what I have so far, I have one repository. So it is based on this one, on this KN project, but I stopped using this structure. So basically, backend, frontend, web, etc., and started using code names, for example, Flash or profx. So I use Superman names for this, but it doesn't matter. So basically, Flash is API of this project, and profx is kind of backend who gathers or mine these links and stores them in database. And this project is deployed to the DigitalOcean. So what I have on DigitalOcean Kubernetes cluster is database cluster, and this is deployed to the Kubernetes. So as you can see on the left, so if I go to the, for example, logs of Profex, so these two applications, they deployed separately, but in one Kubernetes cluster. If you want to know more about this part, let me know in comments, but we will probably have some kind of separate video with all these details of how you can deploy to the Kubernetes and etc. But for now, I have two deployments, one for API and another one for backend. In terms of API, it's very simple. Let me check with URL. So it's very simple endpoint. So it's a kind of REST endpoint. For now, it returns only environment variables. We will implement it together. But in terms of backend, I have something working, and what it does, it basically goes through predefined links and try to find articles in these sources. So let me show it. So let me for a second open iPad and also try to open my source code. So what I want to do is to open database connection. So while it's opening, I want a bit explain. So basically what I have in a backend or in a sub-project called ProfX. So this project has database. It's a MySQL database, and one of the tables in this database is source. It's called sources, and in these sources I keep information about the websites with useful article links, and also regex or regular expression that matches with the article. So it's something like Reddit, but like more manual style. And each time when I have a new iteration, so this is like one example. Sorry, let me jump. So each time when I have a new iteration of this project, it gets all my source links. So for example, this is a source, this is a source, and for each source, it downloads a website and try to find article links in these websites. And if you ask me how I do this match of articles, let me show you this database. So basically in this, not this one. So in this sources table, so right now I'm connecting to my production environment, but since it's like a development project, so it's okay. So this is like structure of this database. Table. So this is my source websites, and for each source website I have a list of the rules, and with these rules I define, for example, if it's a Mozilla's website, try to get article link by using this regular expression. And if I have a new article, a new link that I don't have already in my database, I will save it as an article. And we can see a list of these articles in this table. So if I execute this query, this is a list of the, let me make it bigger. Sorry, this is a list of the article links. So this is one article, another article, and etc. And I also keep source information. So this article was found on this website. So there is of course a correlation, because for now I parse articles from so I have website and the list of the articles. So there is no so no way that I parse all Medium or Reddit for development articles. So source always will be the same for the same website. So that's why for all these articles I have the same source. So for now, as you can see, it's quite straightforward. So a list of the websites, regular expression for for identifying article link and just a very simple list of the articles. But I also do some kind of preparation work for our features. For example, I keep all the links that I see within a website. So maybe now we have only one regular expression for defining articles, but later on we can automatically define that this link is also looks like article, and try to like specify article links by some patterns. That's why I keep all these URLs. So far, let me see how many URLs I have in my table. So it works. So right now it works like once in an hour. So the script, that the applications that you have to see on the left, you can also see it by time. So it works once in an hour, and by these logs we can see how many articles we catch in each iteration. So since I have like very limited list of the sources, let me show you all my sources right now. List of the articles is also quite limited. So this is all my sources. I have 23. I especially keep this list of the sources manual for now, because I want to like use only authorized, or not authorized, but authority sources. For example, I know that on this website, on this blog, I can find some quality content, and same goes for this one. Also, I have some engineering blogs of popular companies like, I don't know, Mozilla, GitHub, and etc. So yeah, so, and for each of them I have predefined list of the rules. So I will explain how I do this matching later, because in rules there is some special condition. For example, you can say that this, if it matches this rule, this regular expression, it is an article. But if so, there is like rule type. If you specify rule type 2 and specify another regular expression, it will be like exclude rule. So if it matches this rule, this link will be excluded from the article list. And why I do it is, if you check this resource table, we will see that sometimes there is a mistake. It's already fixed with the latest version, I guess, but let me show you an example. So basically, this is one of the examples. For some reasons, application identifies this as an article link, but it's not. That's why for this one we might have another regular expression saying that if there is a like blog author in the name, exclude this link from article list. And it should work, for example, only for, I don't know, for this source. But more about the details later. I also have like some kind of logs table. It's application level logs or business logic level logs, and this is actually same as this one for now. I want to a bit research logging techniques for this kind of applications, because ideally we should have a lot of logs, like so per each crawling or the data fetching session we should have detailed logs, but more on this later. So this shows like the whole history of getting article links. So you can see that I at some point we have some kind of like a lot of articles. This usually happens when I have new sources added to the source list. But anyway, so basically, yeah, I think for now that's enough on this project. So let me shortly go through through this configuration. Basically, what I have, as I said, I have one Kubernetes configuration, Kubernetes cluster. It's very limited. For now, it's only with 2 pods. Yeah. With total of 4 CPU, 4 GB of memory, and 120 GB of disk storage, and also keep I also keep a database on a separate cluster, which is MySQL database, MySQL 8, with 1 GB of RAM and 10 GB of disk space. The reason why I keep it like separately, because I don't want to deal with persistent volumes in Kubernetes for now. Later we will need to also move this database, maybe potentially to our Kubernetes cluster. But I will talk about these details of Kubernetes and MySQL and etc. or application design. It's a Go application later on with another videos. For now, that's enough. Let me jump to the my drawings and see what I explain more on this part. So basically, for now, I want to keep it like very high level. So I think that's enough. In terms of goals, my first goal is to make it open source or sync it with a open source version with these two projects. Probably I will have one more repository, and later on I will just archive this repository so it doesn't confuse people, because I will keep private repository. Sorry. So I am talking about these repositories. So I will, as I said, I will create one more repository with a final version, and we will continue work on this repository. But I also will keep my private one, because it's easy for me to start doing some stuff in the private repository and then publish it. And also for now I keep like all this Kubernetes configuration in my source code, and some of them contains like some credentials. Which I will not include in a public repository, but I will explain how you can use it. So if you, let's say if you want to do like duplicate this project for yourself, for learning purposes of course, you can include your credentials, but more on this later. So in next video, I want to share a bit more on the plans on our communication, how I see it for this project. Because since there is a lot of technologies used in this project, it's interesting how I will organize these videos. Probably we'll have a lot of development sessions, but also we will have some kind of tutorials, but more on this in the next video. For now, thanks for watching this video. It was quite a long, and see you in next videos. Bye bye.